Harvey Dent killed my boy. What is happening, Unhipsleet Army? We are back with the Q&A that you guys sent in the questions for. So thank you for that. Because if you hadn't sent all those questions in, that would not be a Q&A right now. So thank you for the questions. So let's jump in. All right, the first question is from Eclavias Editing and Technical Tips. I probably butchered that name. I am sorry. I am sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And he asks, he or she or it asks, how do you make stop motions? Please tell. Well, I use that camera right over there, and I take pictures with it. And that's not all I do to it. I make love to it. Wait, is this PG-26? It has to be, right? Well, how do I make stop motions? I use this camera right over here. It is a Canon EOS 700D. I use this camera to take the pictures, and then I gather all those pictures up into one ball, and I upload them to my computer, and I drop them in Sony Vegas. I use Sony Vegas to edit my videos, and then I upload it, and then all the pictures are in Sony Vegas. And then I edit it, and I add the sound effects, music, everything. So yeah, hope that answers your question. Oh yeah, by the way, my desk is a little bit wobbly, and the camera is not really secured all that well. Yeah, if I touch like the desk and the camera's a little wobbly, it's not because there's an earthquake, it's because you get it. All right, the next question. Faku Studios, or Faku probably, right? Faku Studios. How big is your action figures collection? Well, Faku Studios. It's reasonably big, I guess. I mean, I don't think it's like really like big. It's not like Shartimus Prime or anything. I just collect the figures that I think are cool and that I need for my stop motion videos. All right, next question. Marcos I. Vargas V. I have no idea how to pronounce this shit, man. And he says, hey man, what is your favorite action figure? My favorite action figure. Of all time, or the one that I own? You gotta be more specific with this, man. I can't answer this. This is too wide. This is too broad, man. You gotta narrow it down for me, man. But yeah, I'll just answer both for the sake of all time. I don't know. Probably a Hot Toys figure, but I don't own a Hot Toys figure yet. So in terms of Hot Toys, I would probably say the Winter Soldier Stealth Strike Suit Hot Toys figure. And my favorite figure that I own, man, I have to look at my collection. Probably the Marvel Legends Winter Soldier Captain America 6-inch. He continues, and would you be willing to make a crossover stop motion, including figures from different lines, for example, Rocksteady and Bebop, along with G.I. Joe? Yes, I am willing to make a crossover stop motion. I already have something planned, which is going to be crazy. But here's the thing, I don't have a Rocksteady and Bebop figure, and I only have Roadblock from G.I. Joe, so sorry, I can't really do much for you there. But I do have a plan for a ultimate crossover stop motion video, which will include a lot of things, from Marvel to Star Wars to possibly Transformers, Lord of the Rings, everything. Assassin's Creed. All right, next question. Crispy Motion, my dude, one of the very valiant and loyal subscribers. Crispy Motion asks, how's life? Interesting. All right, next question. Anthony Woods asks, how many voice impressions can you do? Well, Anthony, as many as you want me to. No, I'm joking. Well, I think I can do quite a bit. I don't, if they're any good is up to you, really. Like, the only two that I know of that I can't do or maybe 3. But definitely the 2 that I know of that I can't do is Mark Hamill's Joker and Gollum. Like, for some reason, I just can't figure it out. My voice just can't freaking do it for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, and that always pains me, man. Like, I want to be able to do those things, but somehow I just can't. Like, I can do like a little bit of the laugh, like, but that's about it. I can't do the voice. And Gollum, like, I can't do it. Yeah, there's this funny ass video of Martin Freeman and Andy Serkis, and Martin Freeman does a Gollum impression, and that's probably what my impression would sound like as well. Roll the clip.
Do you ever play that game? Where I play that game sometimes with Amanda, where you just go, just do an impression now, and you can't pause, you can't like Prince Charles or Kennedy or and you just got to do it and be bad.
Okay, got him.
All right, next one up. Nightwing Wonder. My dude, man. Most of you might not know this. Some of you might. But last year, I did 2 Batman submotions. And this guy was the voice of Nightwing in those. And it was phenomenal. So still, Nightwing, thank you for that Nightwing voice. Because back then, like, almost no one auditioned. And you were pretty much the only one. And you were fantastic. So thank you. You are one of the OGs. All right, well, he asks, when are you going to do another Batman film? My dude, I don't know, to be honest. You probably want to voice Nightwing again. I get it. Yeah, man, if I ever do a Batman stop motion again, I'll try to put Nightwing in there so you can voice Nightwing again. It could be awesome, but as of right now, nothing really in the works yet for Batman. Sorry. All right, next one up. Stop motion commotion. My man. He is also one of the most loyal subscribers and supporters of the Unhip Elite Army. And he asks, would you be willing to do a collaboration? My friend, my answer is yes. But here's the thing. In terms of stop motion, collaboration is very difficult. Because sure, I would love to do a collaboration, but how are we going to do that? Like, I'm here and you're probably in America, I think. So for stop motion, to collaborate with stop motion is very difficult. Because how do you do that? Because my way of shooting is very different from yours. And like, I mean, we already collaborate. Like, we voice each other's characters and stuff. Like, that's pretty much the only way we can collaborate in terms of stop motion, right? But yeah, I mean, I guess I'd like to do it, but it was just from a technical perspective, it's just like, how do we do that? Like, I'm here, and do we think of like a script together? But it's going to be very different if we work together, because you shoot very different than I do, right? But yeah, as far as collaborations, it's probably going to have to take a little while, because I am working on 2 Infinity War stop motions right now, which will take up pretty much most of my time. So after that, my schedule will probably be a little more free. But when those are done and there's not really a movie that I'm going to make stop motion for, then my schedule is more open and we can talk business, I guess. All right, next one up. Hawkeye Animations. Hawkeye Animations, man. Also one of the loyal subscribers, man. Doing your thing. What scenes are the most difficult to animate? Well, fight scenes are pretty difficult to do, because it's very hard to keep the figures standing up, right? Because they fall down a lot, and it's just very difficult. Like, kicks and stuff is always difficult. But the most difficult thing is probably anything in the air. Like characters jumping or flying characters or anything like that. That's always difficult. And then one of the easiest things is dialogue scenes, right? Like, you don't really need much. You don't really have to animate that much for a dialogue scene. So you could just shoot a couple pictures or whatever and add in the dialogue, and That's pretty simple to do. Oh, here's another question from Stop Motion Commotion. And he asks, what's your favorite voice to do? I mean, I've done a couple now for you guys. And I don't know. I always like doing Batman. I just think it's kind of badass. But yeah, Captain America is my favorite superhero now. So, I mean, I love doing Cap. But yeah, I mean, I love doing all of them, you know? Like, I do Megatron as well. Like, I love doing that. And, but yeah, I'd say... well, Batman and Megatron. All right, moving forward. Marvelous Jason. My man. Marvelous Jason. Also one of the first and loyal subscribers. And man, you're doing your thing, man. Keep doing what you're doing because it's awesome. He says, congrats on 4K. Thank you, man. He has 3 questions. The first one, would you ever be open to collaborating with other stop-motion YouTubers? Yes. But now it's just mostly with voices, and collaborating on stop motion is pretty difficult, just like I explained earlier. But yeah, simple answer, yes. Will you ever do an action figure collection video? Hey, if you want me to, I'll make it, you know. I'll have to set it up, and we can make it happen. Last question. How difficult is it to animate with 3 3/4 inch figures that have limited articulation? Well, I've only animated 3 3/4 inch figures. So I don't really know anything else. I don't know if 6 inch is harder or easier. But yeah, sometimes it is pretty tricky, I will say. You know, but you know, stop motion is difficult. You know, it is what it is. Thanks, and here's to another 4K subs. Thank you, my man. You're awesome. All right, moving up. KK Animation, my man. Damn, you guys, you are all my mans. My mans? That doesn't make any sense. You are my people. You are the loyal warriors in the Unhipsleet army. He asks, congrats, man. How do you make the sets for your stop motions? How do you set up your lighting? What inspired you to make your stop motions? How do I make the sets? I just take whatever I have. You know, like I've collected some things over the years. Anytime like a box or whatever I come across and I'm like, hey, I can probably use that at some point. I just keep it, and you know, you never know when you might use it. You know, like the things I have now for my set for Infinity War. All just things I collected over the years, man. You know, I don't have any, you know, fancy buildings or whatever. You know, I just put some shit together and then it looks pretty cool sometimes. How do you set up your lighting? Well, that's... My lighting is essentially just one desk lamp with a cold white light. And I use that pretty much to set up every shot. But you do really great lighting, by the way. So I want to know what you use for your lighting. Because I can learn something from that, because your videos always look amazing. And what inspired you to make your stop motions? Well, I'm just a big fan of superhero movies and things like that. And, you know, for years, like even years ago, you know, I watched stop motions on YouTube, right? You know, I always thought, like, this is awesome. And, you know, I'd love to make something like this one day, right? Back then, I didn't have a camera, you know, I didn't really know what to do. So I never really acted on it, but then at some point I was just like, you know what, flip it, I'm just gonna do it. And then I made the Captain America vs. Bane video. Yeah. And I just kind of kept going, you know, I just try to keep improving. But yeah, big inspiration for me, by the way, was Trickshot. You guys probably know him. He's one of the OG stop motion creators on YouTube. Like Trickshot's videos, I saw those like 6 years ago maybe. And that was like the initial inspiration for me. So yeah, I guess shout out to Trickshot. Next one, Stinger stop motions. My dude. It's awesome to see how much you've grown. First video ever saw was Cap vs. Bane. See, like, man, you've seen that video and you remember it? Man. Man, you are one of the OG dudes, my dude. Feels like so long ago, but it's crazy how much of a request. Will you use 6-inch figures in any stop motions? Here's the thing. I I have 6-inch figures. I don't have that many though. I just have a few. I have like 5 different characters. So I can't really do much with them. And also, if I have 6-inch figures, those figures are much bigger, so the sets would have to be much bigger as well. And that is pretty difficult to make. Otherwise, it's just like this small set, like it's really cramped and it's really difficult to animate. But yeah, and I've just always loved 3 3/4 inch figures. You know, I've always collected them, always preferred them. I don't know really why that is, but I just, like, my collection is mainly 3 3/4 inch figures. So I just use them. And is it hard to get figures since you live in Holland? It's definitely hard for me as an England dweller. Yeah. It is kind of tricky to get them here. Like, we don't really have like big stores where they have action figures. So yeah, most of them I just get off eBay, man. You know, that you can get them pretty cheap sometimes on eBay. So that's my main thing. You can probably do that in England as well, but you know. Yeah. All right. Damn. We are like blasting through these, man. All right. My dude, the Macho Dude, has a question. This is what he says. Congrats, dude. Thank you. So if your camera is a portal, I just want to know why. Oh wait, I just want to know what is my life like in dimension C132. Well, Macho Dude, I'm looking right now, and I can see you. And what you're doing, you probably don't want to know, because it is messed up. And, yeah, I'm probably going to leave it at that. I just want to say thank you in advance if you answered me this question, because there are people out there that pay for these kind of things. Well, my dude, it's always free here. Dun, dun, dun. Thank you, my dude. Thank you for asking a question. And yes, we should definitely go drinking sometime. We will drink up to the heavens and become immortal. We're already at the last question, man. This is going fast. And it's by Dan from the Dan and Matt Show. And he asks, how is it gonna feel when I beat the crap out of you? Well, if you beat the crap out of me, it'll probably hurt, I'd say. But he's obviously referring to the fight that he wants so desperately to happen. But yeah, obviously, if we actually fought, I would not let that happen, of course. So yeah, just to explain how I feel about this fight, I'm gonna let my buddy Dwayne here explain to you how I feel about this fight. Take it away.
Let me tell you something. Me and you, one-on-one, no one else around. I will beat your ass like a Cherokee drum.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Oh yeah, and also, this.
Just bring it, bitch!
Alright, we have come to the end of the Q&A. Those were all the questions. And I, once again, want to thank you for sending in all those questions. Without you, this would not have been possible, obviously. Be on the lookout for my Infinity War stop motions. I'm working on them. And some other interesting videos coming up as well. I guess if you have any more suggestions for what you want me to do, just comment them down below. And yeah, maybe in the future I'll do another Q&A, you know, maybe at 5,000 or whatever I can do another Q&A, you know. That'd be awesome. But yeah, anyway guys, until next time, I'll see you later.
Wow.